Welcome, colonists, survivors, and anybody else ready for a brand new series. Today we're going to be checking out a scenario and mod called Climate Cycle Plus. What it does is it adds a new permanent map condition that you can add to essentially any scenario. What it does is it changes the climate cycle that comes with the vanilla game and makes it just ridiculous. So it increases the regular 20 temperature difference increase and decrease from the average global temperature that changes over the seasons as time goes on. So essentially it gets, hotter and hotter and hotter, and then colder and colder and colder until it becomes just, ridiculous. But in the Climate Cycle Plus, it becomes absolutely insane. So the challenge is try to survive for 4 years or get off the planet. Because what happens in 4 years is the planet becomes ridiculous. It's either a desert or a complete absolute snowball. So you can't survive either way. So we got to get off this planet in 4 years. And I'm feeling really good about this one. The last one, we died from the plague. Poor Hoots. So young, so innocent. But that's not going to happen this time. He's going to have friends right from the beginning, and they're going to kill it, and they're going to survive, and they're going to get off this planet, and you're going to watch me do it. And you're going to cheer me on when I launched that spaceship, and we're going to take a moment to look back at this moment and be proud. Let's watch this generate. A familiar sight. The undead seed. I'm going to take a moment and try to find a good spot. I think for this scenario, it would be a good idea to have some sort of natural protection from the elements, protection from the cold, protection from the heat. The first thing that might come to mind is a cave. Haha. Caves have a special part in my mind, have a special part in my heart, because they're just a great idea. They work out well. So let's find one. I think this is where we're going to start our journey. We have large hills, decent amount of movement. The average temperature is just a nice and toasty 23 degrees Celsius. The winter temperature isn't too cold. We have year-round growing. And I think that a nice general temperature area is a good idea for this, regardless of whether or not the growing period is year-round, to make that easier for myself, because that's going to change pretty fast. I think that it's good to start with a nice sort of general kind of temperature area. That will provide us with a good baseline to kind of work off when things start to get sort of crazy. I think I'm going to take a moment and customize these characters. We're going to start with Undead. Then we're going to have our boy, our man in action, Hoots, back at it again to fight it out again, to try to survive, to get on that spaceship. And I think we have a mystery newcomer, and you're just about to find out who that is. Alright, so our 3 starting characters that we're going to have for this journey is going to be Undead, Hoots, and of course, Kyle. Undead is going to act as our doctor, our constructor, and our general gardener. It's going to be really good at growing, mining, doing all the sorts of different things that need to be done around the colony. Hoots is going to be our crafter and researcher. Hoots is going to be a female for this playthrough, and she is going to be decent at shooting, decent at talking, decent with animals. So while she's crafting and doing her researching, when she's not doing that, she'll be hanging out with the animals. And then we have Kyle, who is a neurotic, trigger-happy, annoying-voiced medieval slave who is 50 years old. He's going to be our cook, our constructor, and essentially pretty close to what Undead is, and just kind of our general laborer. So I'm hoping that this will be a really good start to our new colony. These have all just been essentially just me randomizing and then just changing the name, and that's it. So let's get right into it. The 3 of you awake in your crypto sleep sarcophagi to the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Some time later, you land on an unknown Rimworld. As pieces of your shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. Yes. It feels good to be back again. A new chance of survival, a new world, a new place. Feels good. First things first, let's check out the map. Let's see what we got to work with here. Lots of wood. First and foremost, that's the first thing. Sea ice was... The sea ice treated me unfairly. It just took and took. We've got some spaceship scattering that happens with the scenario that I chose, which is awesome. Wood, there's lots of... I'm liking this area. This is nice. So, let's see where we dropped in here. I'm thinking my best bet is to move the stuff that I have down here and kind of just take this area down here and make this my base, because this right in here, I can dig into this whole rocky area. I can get nice and barricaded inside the cooled down mountains, and I won't have to worry about if it's like 4,000 million degrees out here. I can just keep on digging, and it's gonna be good. So let's get our stockpile down, so I can start just getting Undead Hoots and Kyle to start bringing this stuff down. Might as well just slap it against the mountain side, and then I can build a roof coming off of here. Just get everybody hauling as fast as possible. Once I get a couple of the resources down here, I'll oh, I definitely forgot to unforbid everything. Whew! Feels good to be back again in a new world with a runaway climate. It's exciting. It's like going from being in a freezing little ice cave with almost nothing to be able to do and just researching and struggling to survive, to a whole new world. We've got a new dog, we've got trees and rocks and all kinds of stuff. It's gonna be exciting. I'm excited. So let's plan out what we're gonna do here. I think right away I'm just gonna build right into the cave, because I don't want to get caught outside. I don't know what to expect. I haven't played this scenario yet. So let's not pause and just plan this out. It's always good to build 2, even 3, but for right now we'll do 2 deep lines. The last thing you want is during an infestation to get any sort of horrible fights where you just lose everything. It's awful. I'm just gonna pause for a second and design my future base. So I think that we have our basic design for our future base here. So we've got our entrance, which is going to include our crafting, research, that sort of area, with a little bit of room to expand in case I need to change that up a little bit. We're going to have the dining and general area, which is going to be connected to the kitchen and butchering spot, which will have the kitchen and a cooling tunnel that can let the cold temperatures out. This will be connected to where the dining table and everything will be, with the 3 bedrooms for our colonists, 2 bathrooms and showers, and then the lines here will be basically available for expansion when I need to move this up a little bit once I get more people if I need to. But until all of this starts, we're looking at this. So we've got a small little shack that we're going to have to get ready right now. So as our colonists are moving everything, we'll prepare this to get started. With lots and lots of wood around, I'm happy to not have to really worry about having to deal with. I'm going to build this little line here just to increase the area that I can build the roof out to. So we're also going to build this little, basically just a little shit shack right now to just act as kind of like a placeholder to have a little base for our guys right now until they can deal with living in an actual place. Did I choose a bad location? Clearly. I didn't realize that was a swamp area. Okay, well, let's see. Can I build it here? Bada bing, bada boom! Looks good. So I'll just cancel these plans. Get out of here, you're useless! No point in you. Can also build a couple little beds. Pause for a second. I'm going to want to get... Let's take a second and do this. Okay, I think that will do for right now. So everybody's plugging away, doing their thing. Kyle's hanging out by the old marshy swamp, doing his thing as we slowly build our little home. I'm so excited. This is gonna be awesome. New climate change, new scenario, new life. Get out of the icy coldness, because that was starting to get ridiculous. But I think this is a good start and a good end to our very first episode. I hope you're enjoying this setup so far. This has been just basically the start to see how things go. There's going to be a lot more to come. Things are going to get absolutely crazy. They're going to get super hot, and then super cold, and then super hot again, and then super cold again. And we're going to see how that plays through. I hope you're having a great day. Until I see you again, until you hear this voice again, I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon, and happy Valentine's Day. Cheers. Bye. Undead Productions.